A significant development emerged from Jakarta last week that could reshape the entire medtech landscape in Southeast Asia. The ASEAN Medical Device Committee has released its most ambitious draft guidelines yet, targeting the harmonization of high-risk Class C and D devices. This promises a single gateway to a market of over 600 million people, but the reality is far more complex. The core goal of the ASEAN Medical Device Directive, or AMDD, is to create a unified regulatory framework, much like the EU's MDR, reducing barriers to trade and ensuring consistent standards for safety and performance. This latest proposal is the most concrete step we've seen towards that vision for complex, high-risk products. The new draft guidelines introduce several critical changes. For instance, they propose mandatory local clinical data requirements for certain Class D devices to validate performance in the ASEAN population. They also outline enhanced cybersecurity protocols for all connected devices, a direct response to the rise of digital health. Furthermore, a new shared post-market surveillance database is on the table, which would require manufacturers to report incidents to a central system. However, the biggest challenge here is the harmonization gap. The dream is a single submission for all 10 member states. The reality is that national bodies like Singapore's HSA, Malaysia's MDA, and Thailand's FDA will interpret and implement these guidelines on different timelines and with unique local variations. For example, take a US manufacturer of a novel cardiovascular implant, a Class D device. They hoped the AMDD would mean one dossier for the entire region. But the new draft requires a local clinical bridging study in at least 2 ASEAN member states. On top of that, Indonesia's halal certification requirements for certain materials add another layer of complexity not covered in the core guideline. They now face a fragmented, multi-front strategy, not a unified one. The dream of one submission, 10 markets in ASEAN is still on the horizon, but these latest guidelines show the path is filled with intricate national requirements. Successfully navigating this evolving harmonization maze requires deep on-the-ground expertise. For specialized support in creating a phased ASEAN market access strategy that addresses these new complexities, you can email or visit Pure Global.